Hi, I'm Berta Jo from Spanish Fork Senior Citizen Center. We just wanted to check in with all of you and let you know that we're thinking of you and we miss you and we love you. We're hoping that this little program that we've put together will entertain you and bring a smile to your face. And always remember, when we reopen, we want you to come back so we can always surround you with people who care.
Attention, hut. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, if I could, is that the last one? That's the last one for today, right?
I can play anymore if you want me to play.
That's just great for me right there.
Oh,
that's
right
fine.
there?
Yep, that's good. That's good.
No more?
Well, you have one more?
I got sugar. Yeah, we can do this.
Let's do one more. Maybe I'll use it next time or.
Oh, okay. Ready?
Yes.
Wasn't that fun? Didn't we have a good time?
Hi, I'm Heather Lyman with Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice, and today I want to talk directly to the seniors. I've been watching current events like everybody else, and I've had some worries like everybody else. It's kind of a frightening world out there right now. But I've turned it over in my head and wondered, what can we do to even make a dent in what seems like global chaos? And I just keep coming back to, I just feel like the world needs grandparents right now. You know, the kids are stressed, their parents are stressed. They've never dealt with anything like this before, but you have. And right now, we just need the love of grandparents. We need that steadying hand. And second, I feel like we need your wisdom. We need the life experience that you have. So think about it. You're the generation that a lot of you were kids during World War I, or World War II. Sorry, you're not that old. But you've lived through this, you've been there. You've been through what the kids are going through right now. Tell them your stories. Tell them what it was like. You are the generation that lived through actual race riots. Tell them what you learned during that time. Tell them what led up to it. You've got so much history. You were the patriotic generation. Tell your grandkids why. Tell them what freedom means to you. Some of you fought for freedom. Tell them what you saw in other countries. They may not have that background. And trust me, the school curriculum is just barely scratching the surface. You are the generation that lived through polio, measles, mumps, rheumatic fever, scarlet fever, and you lived through the quarantines that went with those diseases. Talk about that. Tell them what it was like. You are living, breathing history, and that's so much better than anything you can get out of a book. Plus, they'll have those memories of the things you talked about with them. You have 7 or 8 decades worth of life experience. We need that right now. None of my generation has lived through anything like this, and our kids certainly haven't. Talk, tell your stories. And just, the world needs your wisdom right now. I think that there are a lot of people out there that are just adrift, and we could use just that extra love that grandparents give, and that wisdom that you have. The world needs you right now. And who better to learn that from than your own grandparents? The grandparents that you already love and trust and look up to. So get out there, grandparents. I also want to just relay a story that another hospice nurse shared with me. And so I'm just going to read you her words. She says, this is a quote, she says, "Sometimes I just want to stop. The talk of COVID, of politics, of riots, of political stuff, I lose my way and become convinced that this new normal is to stay. But then I met an 87-year-old who talks of living through polio, diphtheria, Vietnam, politics, race riots, and is still enchanted with life. He seemed surprised when I said 2020 must be especially challenging for him. He said, no. And then he looked into my eyes and said, I learned a long time ago to see the world not through printed headlines. I see the world through the people around me. I see through the realization that we love big. And therefore, I just choose to write my own headlines. Husband loves wife today. Family drops everything to be at Grandpa's bedside. And then he patted my hand and said, old man makes new friend. Then she says, his words collided with my worries, freeing them from the tether that I'd been holding tight. I'm left with a renewed spirit, and my own headline now reads, Woman overwhelmed with a spirit of kindness, and the reminder that our capacity to love is endless. Isn't that good? Don't ever mistake that the world needs your life history. The world needs your life experience and your wisdom. And you've packed 7 or 8 decades worth in. We love you. Stay safe.
And now, jokes with Beverly!
Great. We're ready for more jokes. It's a new day, and we're going to tell some more blonde jokes.
Woohoo!
Okay. A lawyer and a blonde are sitting next to each other on a long flight from LA to New York. The lawyer leans over to her and asks if she would like to play a fun game. The blonde just wants to take a nap, so she politely declines and rolls over to the window to catch a few winks. The lawyer persists and explains that the game is really easy and a lot of fun. He explains, I'll ask you a question, and if you don't know the answer, you pay me $5, and vice versa. Again, she politely declines and tries to get some sleep. The lawyer, now somewhat agitated, says, okay, if you don't know the answer, you pay me $5, and if I don't know the answer, I will pay you $500, figuring that since she's a blonde, that will be really easy for him to win the match. This catches the blonde's attention, and figuring that there will be no end to this tournament unless she plays, she agrees to the game. The lawyer asks the first question, what's the distance from the Earth to the moon? The blonde doesn't say a word, reaches into her purse, pulls out a $5 bill and hands it to the lawyer. Now it's the blonde's turn. She asks the lawyer, what goes up a hill with 3 legs and comes down with 4. The lawyer looks at her with a puzzled look. He takes out his laptop computer, and searches all his references. He taps into the airphone with his modem and searches the net and the Library of Congress. Frustrated, he sends emails to all his coworkers and friends. Over an hour later, he wakes the blonde and hands her $500. The blonde politely takes the $500 and turns away to get back to sleep. The lawyer, who is more than a little miffed, wakes the blonde and asks, "Well, so what is the answer?" Without a word, the blonde reaches into her purse, hands the lawyer $5, and goes back to sleep.
Yeah, blonde.
Yes. Don't you wish we were all blondes?
Yeah. We do have more fun.
Oh, yes. All right, here's another one. On a plane is on his way to Toronto when a blonde in economy class gets up and moves to the first class section and sits down. The flight attendant watches her do this and asks to see her ticket. She then tells the blonde that she paid for economy class and that she will have to go sit in the back. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful. I'm going to Toronto and I'm staying right here." The flight attendant goes into the cockpit and tells the pilot and the co-pilot that there's a blonde bimbo sitting in first class that belongs in economy and won't move back to her seat. The co-pilot goes back to the blonde and tries to explain that because she only paid for economy, she will have to leave and return to her seat. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful, I'm going to Toronto, and I'm staying right here." The co-pilot tells the pilot that he probably should have the police waiting when they land to arrest this blonde woman who won't listen to reason. The pilot says, "You say she's a blonde. I'll handle this. I'm married to a blonde. I speak blonde." He goes back to the blonde and whispers in her ear. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and gets up and goes back to her seat in economy. The flight attendant and the co-pilot are amazed and ask him what he said to make her move out without any fuss. "I told her first class isn't going to Toronto."
Hey, this is Pete, and Verna Joe wanted me to tell you that if you need a copy of the Senior Center newsletter, they are available at the Senior Center in a box next to the front door. So please come on by and pick up a copy.
Hi everyone. I'm doing a lot better and I'm hoping to get back to seniors.
You keeping yourself busy this summer?
Not really. I'm in my chair most of the day.
Well, very good. Well, we hope you're doing well.
I'm getting better.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Okay, at Duke University, there were 4 sophomores taking organic chemistry. They were doing so well on all the quizzes, midterms, and labs that they each had an A so far for the semester. These 4 friends were so confident that the weekend before finals, they decided to go up to the University of Virginia and party with some friends there. They had a great time, but after all the heavy partying, they slept all day Sunday and didn't make it back to Duke until early Monday morning. Rather than taking the final then, they decided to find the professor after the final and explain to him why they missed it. They explained that they had gone up to the University of Virginia for the weekend with the plan to come back in time to study, but unfortunately they had a flat tire on the way back, didn't have a spare, and couldn't get help for a long time. As a result, they missed the final. The professor thought it over and then agreed they could make up the final the following day. The guys were elated and relieved. They studied that night and went in the next day at the time the professor had told them. He placed them in separate rooms and handed each of them a test booklet and told them to begin. They looked at the first problem worth 5 points. It was something simple about free radical formation. Cool, they thought at the same time, each one in a separate room. This is going to be easy. Each finished the problem and then turned the page. On the second page was written, for 95 points, which tire?
Oh, I get it now. It took me a second. I get it.
You gotta be quick to get these jokes.
I'm a blonde, remember?
Okay, one more. A young doctor had moved out to a small community to replace a doctor who was retiring. The older doctor suggested that the young one accompany him on his rounds so the community could become used to the new doctor. At the first house, a woman complains, "I've been a little sick to my stomach." The older doctor says, "Well, you've probably been overdoing the fresh fruit. Cut back on that amount you've been eating and see if that does the trick." As they left, the young man said, "You didn't even examine that woman. How did you come to the diagnosis so quickly?" "I didn't have to. You noticed I dropped my stethoscope on the floor in there. When I bent over to pick it up, I noticed a half dozen banana peels in the trash. That was what probably was making her sick." The younger doctor said, "Pretty clever. If you don't mind, I think I'll try that at the next house." Arriving at the next house, they spent several minutes talking with the younger woman. She said that she just didn't have the energy she once had. "I'm feeling terribly run down lately." "You've probably been doing too much for the church," the young doctor told her. "Perhaps you should cut back a bit and see if that helps." As they left, the elder doctor said, "I know that woman well. Your diagnosis is almost certainly correct. She's very active in the church, but how did you arrive at that?" "I did what you did at the last house. I dropped my stethoscope, and when I bent down to retrieve it, I noticed the pastor under her bed."
Hi, we sure miss everybody. I hope everybody's having a good summer. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Hi there.
Hi, everybody. Hope
We
you're
are just-
enjoying.
You having fun, and tell everybody to wear their mask and be careful, be safe, and have a good time.
We're enjoying what we're doing. We go for a ride every day to get out and then spend a lot of time home watching television and
eaten.
Hope to see you all soon.
We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. George Bernard Shaw.
Welcome, everyone.
We are waiting for you to come have some fun.
Come down to the Spanish Fork Senior Center and make some new friends.
If you need a safe, sweet ride, give us a call.
Mother Teresa once said, "We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean, but the ocean would be less because of that missing drop."
Welcome. Come and visit and make new friends. We love to have you.
Would you like a salad on Thursday?
Are you coming Monday? May I make a reservation for the membership dinner?
Hi, welcome to our kitchen.
We're the best cooks around. Our homemade meals are our specialty. They are both nutritious and delicious.
So hurry and grab a spoon. Come on down to the Spanish Fork Senior Center soon.
My wife cooked the first 30 years, and then she told me I get the next 30 years. And this come here to have lunch saved me a lot of cooking. And food's real good, and so that's why we're coming here for lunch.
Nosotros hemos aprendido a apreciar el lugar de para las personas de la tercera edad porque hemos estado ya aquí por 5 años, en los cuales hemos disfrutado de una gran camaradería, mucha amistad y mucho amor entre la gente. Y si ustedes quieren participar de tantas actividades y gozarlas como nosotros, bienvenidos sean.
If you're looking for something to do or to be of service,
if you're waiting for something good to happen,
come volunteer, share your talents with other seniors. I promise you, it will be appreciated.
I love the smiles of the people coming and going to the senior center. They have a feeling about them that I covet. It's something I need in my life. It's been helping me to recover from the sadness of losing a husband unexpectedly. I'm so glad to be here, and I know for sure that it's been a good decision for me.
Hello, I'm Verna Jo, Director of the Spanish Fork Senior Citizen Center. I would like to personally invite you to come into our senior center. Please come and see what we are all about. I'm sure by now you're thinking to yourself, I'm not retired, I'm not old enough, I don't have time, but I would like to give you a different perspective about our senior center. Yes, we do cook incredibly delicious meals, but we're also an activity center. Were you aware that last October we went on a cruise to the Panama Canal? I like to think of our senior center like a country club where you come and have fun. Do fun things, have fun activities for 55 and above. And also, our annual membership dues are minimal. Please, come be our guests for lunch, and we will surround you with people who care.
We've been coming here for 20 years, and the wife and I, we just love it here. I can't think of anything else we could do being retired, how much fun we have here at the Senior Center, and the things that we do here at the Senior Center, and the people we meet, and the people I've known for many years that come here. We just have really enjoyed the Senior Center.
Volunteerism is one of the best things anybody can do, and this is the place to do it because you have so many wonderful friends. I can't say enough about the Senior Center. It's a wonderful place to come to and be.
The best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good things happen, you will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope. Barack Obama.
Surround yourself with people who care.
Okay, more blonde jokes.
A man was in his front yard mowing grass when his beautiful blonde female neighbor came out of the house and went straight to the mailbox. She opened it, looked inside, slammed it shut, and stormed back into her house. A little later, she came out of her house again, went to the mailbox, again opened it and slammed it shut. Angrily, back she went into the house. As the man was getting ready to edge the lawn, here she came again. She marched to the mailbox, opened it, and slammed it closed harder than ever. Puzzled by her actions, the man asked, "Is something wrong?" To which she replied, "There certainly is. My crazy computer keeps telling me I've got mail." There was a blonde that lived in a small house at the corner of 4th Avenue. She had a small shed in her backyard where she kept gardening tools. One day she thought she saw smoke coming out of the roof of the shed. In a panic, she called 911. They answered and said, "This is Joe. Is there an emergency?" The blonde replied, "Yes, my shed is on fire." Joe said, "Don't panic. Help is on the way. Where do you live?" The blonde said, "In a house. Now hurry." Joe calmly responded back, How are we supposed to get there?" The blonde answered back, "Duh, a big red truck." Okay, one more. A blonde and her husband were watching the evening news together. The newsreader said, "In international news, a disaster near Rio de Janeiro today. 5 Brazilian men died in a skydiving accident." The blonde burst into tears and her husband couldn't comfort her. They were participating in a risky sport and they knew it was dangerous, he said. Through her tears, the blonde woman said, "But that's just so terrible. How many is a Brazilian?"
Bye.